Who knew a reboot would actually work?
Those were up, and they did.
More smarts, and my...
He told me enough.
No, I.
Here's Chuck.
Hey everyone, it's Don G. Corleone here, and I'm here with a brand new movie review. And this movie review is going to be for another comedy film I just recently rewatched this month. And it's going to be for one from 2012, directed by Lord and Miller. It was one that Rambo Raff also recently reviewed some point this month. And it's kind of ironic. My review is going to be coming out around the same month Rambo Raff's review came out for this film. Ironic. And that film is going to be for none other than 2012's 21 Jump Street, directed by Lord and Miller, released in March 2012. So what's the plot of this film? Well, in 2005, Schmidt and Jenko are high school students, one an honor roll geek, the other a cool athletic underachiever, and by 2012 they are rookie cops paired together on bike patrol, yearning to make arrests. After a screw-up, they're sent undercover back to high school to find the source of a dangerous synthetic drug. They mix up their names, and Schmidt gets the no-brainer classes where he auditions for Peter Pan and falls in love with Wendy. Jenko gets AP classes where he falls in with high-achieving dweebs. The second chance at high school gives Schmidt delusions of grandeur, which threatens the operation. And can he sort out the relationship and they stumble onto the bad guys? So how was this made? Well, in May 2008, Sony Pictures confirmed that a film adaptation of the series was under development, and Jonah Hill rewrote an existing script by screenwriter Joe Gazan and executive produced the film, as well as starred on the film. Hill has said he wanted a horror director Rob Zombie to direct the picture. Thank God he didn't. It would have been shit if he did. In May 2009, Hill described the film adaptation as being R-rated and saying Bad Boys meets John Hughes type movie, but then in December 2009, it was announced that Sony was in talks with Clyde Chips and Meatballs directing duo Phil Lord and Christopher Miller to direct the film. The film follows the same continuity as the TV series. Ford said that all those events of the original happened, and now they are 20 years later, and they're watching it happen to different people. The film features a highly comedic tone, departing radically from the more dramatic and earnest tone of the series. The film was shot in around the city of Metairie, Louisiana in 2011, although the filmmakers took elaborate steps to disguise the location of a generic city named Metropolitan City. They replaced distinctive street signs with signs using a Helvetica typeface, digitally removed billboards from local businesses, except the recognizable local RTA signs towards the end of the film, as well as Saturn's billboard ad, and avoided filming locations with iconic New Orleans imagery. Despite this, signature landmarks such as the Crescent City connection and distinctive French Quarter area street are partially visible, and the main school used as a stand-in of the fictional Sagan High School was Riverdale High School, located in Jefferson, Louisiana, and the naked baby pictures of Hill's character used in the film were actual pictures of Hill as a child. And the band scene was filmed at Bella Chase High School in Bella Chase, Louisiana, and the filming was completed July 2011. So after the filming was completed, and the film was obviously marketed and advertised, it would go on to be theatrically released on March 16th, 2012 by Columbia Pictures and Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer. It surprisingly received positive reviews from critics and grossed $201 million worldwide. And then a sequel titled 22 Jump Street was released on June 13, 2014, and in 2015 a female-led spin-off was in development, with main stars cast in 2018 and the first draft completed 2020. Thank goodness it still hasn't happened, and let's hope it never does. Now as for my reaction, this film would easily have to be the best reboot adaptation of an old TV series to have ever been made. This movie and its sequel were very iconic during my high school years. 21 Jump Street was very iconic, and a film that really solidified Lord and Miller as filmmaking legends. And writer Michael Bacall seems to have... The writer of Scott Pilgrim vs. the World seems to have realized that nobody cared about a 21 Jump Street movie and instead decided to make something totally different. Like early on in a scene of dialogue that may as well have been delivered directly into the camera, a character explains there aren't any original ideas these days, and so we're stuck rehashing old concepts from the 80s to make a quick buck. In this way and many others, the movie's like all about subverting your expectations, which based on this premise are probably very low, and is anything but a lazy cash grab, taking everything you know about buddy cop films and turning it on its head. It embraces the stupidity of its concept too, by constantly acknowledging that Hill and Tatum are way too old to be posing as high school kids, or by having Ice Cube play the stereotypical black police captain from every 80s movie ever. And then already acknowledging that in a hilarious early scene, Schmidt and Jenko's roles are reversed, with the jock forced to pose as a nerd and the nerd posing as the jock. And 21 Jump Street thrives on the unexpected. Many were initially unsure how Channing Tatum would perform, as he is an actor who has never headlined in any major comedies here, while Jonah Hill's without a doubt the star, having had tons of experience in films like Superbad and Knocked Up. Tatum does a fine job as well. The two actors have great chemistry together in movies like this with two main leads. The rapport between them can make or break the film. With 21 Jump Street, it absolutely makes it. That's ultimately why the movie works as well as it does. Any successful comedy needs real stakes, or otherwise it just feels like a series of Saturday Night Live sketches with no real purpose. Like a few years ago, Superbad was extremely successful, not just being a goofy, raunchy comedy, but having a believable high school friendship at its core. Similarly, 21 Jump Street works because the friendship between the protagonists feels real. As a result, there are real emotional stakes to go along with the satire. And driving the silly, raunchy comedy is a truly interesting story about popularity and friendship in high school, and about how you might act differently if you could go back as an adult. It's easily the funniest comedy in well over a year, but it's not just a vehicle for jokes. 21 Jump Street tells a great story too. This movie is not quite devoted to the typical buddy cop formula that has dominated the subgenre for the past few decades, with the brilliant sleight of hand by the directors Phil Lord and Christopher Miller as a solidly executed script and the comedic adrenaline of Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum. This movie works astonishingly well. It is funny almost consistently and rarely lets a single moment go to waste. Even the jokes border on the line of distasteful, and each time Hill and Tatum appear on screen, laughter almost immediately dominates the air as their chemistry allows us to relish in each scene. The script effectively dominates the air as their chemistry allows us to relish in each scene. The script effectively blends its raunchy R-rated sex humor with clever messages about high school popularity and friendship, which come to productive use when the two leads get mixed with a crowd of high school cliques. In particular, Jonah Hill Schmidt forms a romance with this blondie named Molly, which comes to his surprise considering his lack of popularity in high school, as demonstrated in the opening scene with him and the then super popular Jenko. Furthermore, the film also makes effective use of poking fun at high school stereotypes, which accounts for some good laughs every now and then. But most importantly, is the comedic performances by Hill and Tatum that keep things flowing. And kudos should also go to Ice Cube, who brings his foul mouth, wisecracking fever to the screen each minute we see him, and Rob Rigel lets his comedic talent shine nearly every chance he gets, and when the character finally gets the chance to pull their guns out in the climax, viewers are treated with a sweet little cameo if they've seen the series. Like Hill and Tatum carry the film with their crazy antics, which also pokes fun at the 80s and adds their own enjoyable comedy. They pull off one of the hardest things in film, turning a thing in the past to something that is both exciting and worth your time and money to see. The film manages to both connect with this generation, which is into green initiatives, texting and feeling, something that previous generations scoffed at and mocked. I even enjoyed the acting by Tatum and Hill as they generate some good chemistry as they return to their own years as high school graduates, but with their role reversed. There's many other things I liked about this film. Here are the many other great things I liked about this movie. One, the film never takes itself seriously. It's probably the main reason why I found myself laughing the entire time rather than pointing out what was obviously happened next. It also leads to some clever jokes. The officer even mentions the fact that the two protagonists are overdone stereotypes, that this film is essentially a shameless reboot of an unoriginal concept, and etc. Two, great action. I usually love an action movie that has a good story, not the ones that are just pure action and no story. Yeah, especially you, Michael Bay. That's why I'm happy that this film only has a few, but extremely memorable action scenes, really well done and entertaining. The banter and camaraderie between the two leads is hilarious, an unlikely pairing of police officers at any time. Like Brains and Braun couple ultimately end up finding a connection that proves capable of doing the job, and how they get there is brilliantly complemented by an excellent supporting cast. Ice Cube in particular is awesome as Captain Dixon with these quotes. "You are here because you're some Justin Bieber, Miley Cyrus looking motherfuckers." Or Are you comfortable? Yes. Get your motherfucking ass up when I'm talking to you. I know what y'all thinking. Angry black captain ain't got nothing but a stupid stereotype. Let me tell you something. I'm black and I work my ass off to become captain. And sometimes I get angry, so suck a dick. Or how about, let's not forget, Green Jesus. Hey, stop fucking with Korean Jesus. He ain't got time for your problems. He's busy with Korean shit. There's just many others, so many great quotes too. Like, it's like, here's another great quote. Like, you know what they do to handsome guys like me in prison? It rhymes with grape. It rhymes with grape. Oh, and hey, and don't forget, there's Schmidt's mom, Annie, especially when she finds that picture of Schmidt as a kid vandalized with inappropriate stuff like, I love dick. You think that's funny? Wonder yours douchey. What kind of a sick animal draws an ejaculating penis into an 8-year-old's mouth? It's arguably like an airplane throwing up. You think I don't know what's a dick and balls? I know all about dick and balls. I partied with Robert Downey Jr. before he got sober, when he was really fucked up and a lot of fun. And many other great qualities I liked are that it has a great soundtrack composed by Mark Mothersbaugh, with a few official songs from Ice Cube added to the mix, and many of the action scenes are awesome, such as the gunfight scenes or even the gag where nothing explodes too during that moment, and some great acting from all the actors like Tatum, Hill, Ice Cube, Rob Rigel, and Dave Franco. Mr. Walters being the drug supplier in the film is actually a rather interesting twist, aka the gym coach in the film. And since he did it to get some money to pay off his alimony to his wife, and the ending at which Ice Cube says, "You two sons of bitches are going to college," became true since they went to college in the sequel. Some very awesome cinematography too, and good direction by Lord and Miller, the same guys that had previously directed Colliding with a Chance of Meatballs before this, a children's animated flick. And it's actually manages to work how they go from directing an animated children's flick to an R-rated adult comedy. And both were distributed by Sony. There's even some other funny scenes too, like such as when Smith and Junko get high on the drug, and they are basically causing havoc in their classes, like Junko wrecking music class, vandalizing the science class whiteboard, and then Smith running the track run, although manages to ruining the track run by goofing off, but he does also manage to somehow nail an audition for the role in the school play for Peter Pan that they're hosting in this film. However, as this movie has some bad qualities though, yeah, there's kind of some rather inappropriate humor at times, like the party scene where a character draws a penis on a childhood picture, and some noticeable product placements such as Doritos, multiple Sony products, and JanSport. And the pacing of the film, while well done, is rather slow during the beginning, but it gets faster throughout the film. And this movie does star an actress I do hate, but no, I'm not going to get into detail about that, guys. I'm going to try not to if I review any films featuring this actress, I'm going to not mention any of the Captain Marvel controversy here. That's going to be left, if I review any films starring her, I'm going to leave that controversy out and just talk about how I enjoy the film. Okay, there's times when I've gotten hate for not liking Avatar. I've gotten hate for some of my MCU roast videos, Phase 4 roast videos, so I'm going to try to leave that out from the... Okay, if I review a film starring an actor or actress I've lost respect for, I'll leave that out, but it's not going to make me hate the film. Okay? The last thing I need is another childish hate base. But however, despite the bad qualities, in the end, 21 Jump Street is the perfect reboot of an old TV series and perfect high school film of this era that is totally worth a watch and buy if you want to see comedy done the right way. Anyway, that's it for my review of 21 Jump Street. And if you're wondering how I'm going to rate 21 Jump Street, here's how I'm going to rank this movie. So overall, if you want to see Lord and Miller do a live-action film for the first time and be pleasantly surprised by it, then I would easily recommend watching and buying this movie for sure. And if you are wondering how I'm going to rate 21 Jump Street, I'm going to give 21 Jump Street a 9 out of 10. There we go. That pretty much wraps up a review for 21 Jump Street. So yeah. So, what's going to happen tomorrow? Well, tomorrow I'm going to go see Missing, the standalone sequel to 2018's Searching. And I've heard some pretty good things about it so far. So, it gives me a bit of hope. Now, January can end on this surprising January can end on an also good note. Because this January has actually been kind of good for movies. And that's shocking because January is usually seen as a pretty shitty month for blockbusters. I don't know what's going on here. Hopefully more Januaries can try to be like this. But until then, guys, and hopefully the rest of the year can still be good. Until then, guys, that'll be it for this review. Thank you all for watching. If you like this and want to see more, don't forget to like, subscribe to Don G. Corleone.